As a dietitian, I have met many clients over the years convinced that they can't lose weight. Maybe they're just big boned or it's down to poor genetics. But beliefs are not facts. And the harsh truth is that many of our ideas about weight, food, and exercise start in childhood. And if we're not careful, they can quickly sabotage every effort that we make. So today I'm walking you through the 8 most common weight loss beliefs and what to replace them with. Because once you shift the belief, the behavior often follows. And if we haven't met before, I'm Maria and I'm a registered dietitian. Let's get straight into the video. So let's start with a big one that honestly breaks my heart every time I hear it. I can never lose weight. And most of the time, this belief comes from years of trying and feeling like nothing worked. Maybe you've done keto, you've counted points, you've cut carbs, and maybe the weight loss did come off at first, but then it crept back on. And after a while, it's easy to start to think that the problem is you, that your body is broken and that you are somehow the exception. But here is what I really want you to hear, even if you don't want to hear it. Most people, they can lose weight with evidence-based approaches, when those approaches are actually personalized to their life. The issue usually isn't that you can't lose weight. It's that the approaches that you were given were never truly right for you. And honestly, the internet does not help. It's full of coaches and gurus and programs shouting all of these rules with zero credentials to back them up. People spend huge amounts of money. They feel like failures and they walk away when it doesn't work thinking that their body is the problem. And this makes me so frustrated. Maybe keto left you drained because your body genuinely functions better with more carbohydrates. Maybe calorie tracking wasn't for you because it became obsessive or it was just too time consuming. And maybe intermittent fasting made you so hungry in the evenings that you just ended up binging and undoing all of that fasting work. And none of this means that you failed. It simply means the method was not a match. And if anyone online tries to tell you that there is only one way to lose weight, please do not listen to them. That is your sign to step away. Because the truth is there are many different strategies to help somebody manage their weight. But the key is matching this right tool with the right person. It's like fitting puzzle pieces together so they finally click. So instead of saying, I can never lose weight, and I'll be honest, I have said this myself before too. Try shifting it to, I just have not found the right approach for me yet. Because when you build a plan for you that starts to feel doable, sustainable weight loss can happen. And yes, some people do have a harder time losing weight than others. Genetics, medical conditions, hormones, medications, these all play a role, but they don't make change impossible. They just mean that you might need more guidance and a more tailored approach for you. Now, another big belief that I hear a lot is that weight loss is hard. And look, I get why people believe this, because we've all done diets that left us miserable and were impossible to stick to, and yet they were hard. But what I want you to consider is that most things are hard when first starting out. Learning to drive was hard. Your first day at a new job was hard. But with the right plan, with the right preparation, knowledge, and support, things do get easier and progress builds momentum. So the problem isn't that weight loss is inherently hard. It really is that most people are doing it without a proper plan or without support. And then, because you don't really know what you're doing, you don't have somebody to lean on to kind of encourage you to keep going. You feel like it's not working and then you just stop. But maybe you were actually just on the cusp of a big breakthrough. And when clients come to me convinced that weight loss to be successful has to make them miserable, what I tell them is that if it feels completely unsustainable, then you're doing it wrong. So instead of weight loss is hard, try instead to reframe this as weight loss requires a strategy, but it doesn't have to be miserable. Because when you have structure, you know your protein targets, you know how many times you should go to the gym that day or that week, you know your personal carbohydrate code. All of these things can help weight loss stop feeling like a fight. And an exercise that I get all of my clients to do is to think about other hard things that they have accomplished in the past. I had a client recently who had given up, she was smoking like 10 cigarettes a day and she had gone 0 cigarettes with the last 5 years. That's a huge accomplishment. So thinking back to times when you have done hard things and you've done them well can give you confidence to know that you can do it again. Now the next belief is slightly different but just as damaging, and that is that weight loss should be hard. It's the belief that if you're not suffering, it doesn't count. We think that effective weight loss has to mean really bland, boring meals and meal plans, saying no to social events because you can't eat out, and feeling like so physically hungry that you just can't function properly. If weight loss starts to feel easy, you genuinely think like it's not working or you're doing something wrong. And when you think about how weight loss is portrayed in movies or TV shows, something like Bridget Jones' Diary or any movie with like a makeover montage, the person who is on this weight loss journey, and we see it really in these weight loss transformation shows, it's depicted as this really torturous, miserable process. So we have been conditioned to think that punishment equals results. But none of my clients have ever managed to lose weight by making themselves feel miserable. Because weight loss, you need to be able to do something consistently for a long period of time. And as human beings, we are not wired to want misery. If we're miserable, we will do everything in our power to get out of that state, which often, if you've been on a strict diet, means going headfirst into a big bucket of ice cream. So instead of thinking that weight loss should be hard, I want you to reframe it to effective weight loss should feel doable. And look, there will be moments where you do require some discipline. You maybe have to choose that protein-packed breakfast over the pastry, at least 5 mornings out of the week. You need to prep your lunch on a Sunday night, even when you want to just stay sitting on the couch watching Netflix. But if every single day feels like a serious battle, that's a big sign that your approach is off. It's not proof that you're doing it wrong, because the goal isn't to make weight loss harder. It's to make it feel somewhat enjoyable, and this normally comes from building systems that actually fit into your life, not forcing yourself into misery, because then you're just going to inevitably quit. Now, the next belief I hear constantly, and that is, there's something wrong with my metabolism. And yes, I have believed this one personally for a while too. And look, I'm not saying that metabolic issues don't exist, because they do, and I do see them in clinic. Things like hypothyroidism, PCOS, and insulin resistance. These are all real, and they can change how your body processes food, and they can make weight loss harder. But as a dietitian who dives deep into all of my clients every single day, we're looking at medical histories, medications, lab results. I'm talking to their doctors behind the scenes. And the reality is that fewer people than you'd expect actually have medical issues with their metabolism. And if they do, we can often correct them. What's more common though is that people think their metabolism is broken, when really they've just been following inconsistent or inappropriate programs. Maybe you're eating a lot more than you think. Maybe your diet is too low in protein. Maybe you're not tracking accurately, or you're on a plan that's just not right for your body. And this isn't judgment, it's just the reality of how tricky weight loss can be without proper guidance. Or, and this is important, maybe you've been dieting for so long that you put your body into a sort of conservation mode. I want you to think of your metabolism like a fire. If you've been someone who has been always on a diet for the last few years, you're constantly restricting, then the flames of your metabolism, they might be down to a gentle flicker. But we need to get those flames back up to a roaring fire before your body will respond to fat loss again. So instead of thinking, there's something wrong with my metabolism, try this instead. I need to rule out medical issues, but I also need to make sure my approach is actually sound. And if you have genuinely followed evidence-based weight loss guidance, and you've worked with a professional like a dietitian, and you have been consistent, and I mean consistent, and you've done this for at least a number of weeks and you're still not seeing any progress, then absolutely work with a professional like your registered dietitian to look for any underlying medical conditions. Get your thyroid checked, look at your hormones, and rule things out. But if you haven't given a proper structured approach a really good shot yet, I would start there first, because most of the time it's not your metabolism, it is the method. Now, this belief is sneaky because it sounds like acceptance, but it's actually resignation. And this is that I will always be overweight. Maybe you've been overweight since childhood. Maybe you've struggled with your weight with the last 10, 20, 30 years. So at some point you just accepted it. This is who you are. This is what your body does. Why keep fighting? But what I want you to understand is that how you have been in the past is a result of the knowledge and the support systems that you had in place then. Maybe you grew up in a household where portion sizes were too big and finishing your plate was mandatory. Maybe you were never taught how to build a balanced meal. Maybe you've spent years trying to lose weight alone without proper guidance, just winging it based on whatever trend was popular. But none of that has to define your future. So instead of, I will always be overweight, try this. My past doesn't determine my future. New knowledge and support can change everything. Because when you learn why certain strategies work, when you have accountability, that is when things shift. And I've seen it happen over and over. Clients who have spent decades convinced that they would always be heavy, finally losing weight in a way that sticks. And it's not because they suddenly got more willpower, but because they finally had the right approach. Your past is data, not your destiny. Now this belief is brutal because it's often backed by experience. Every time I lose weight, I will put it back on again. You've been here before, you lose 10, 15, 20 pounds. You feel great, and then you come back from the holiday or the wedding is over and the weight creeps back on. Sometimes all of it, sometimes even more. So then it starts to feel like this is just how your body works. But what's happening is that most of the time, the approach that you were taking was simply too hard or too extreme to maintain long term. It's a bit like pulling back on a rubber band. If you pull back way too hard, the second you let go, it snaps right back. So when calories drop too low, or you're exercising too much, or the rules are overly rigid, your body eventually fights back too. Hunger increases, cravings ramp up, energy drops, and your brain becomes obsessed with food. None of that is a lack of willpower. It is biology doing exactly what it was designed to do. So although those approaches might work temporarily, they're not something you can or should keep doing forever. And when you can't maintain them, the weight comes back. So instead of every time I lose weight, I put it back on again, I want you to think I can lose weight and keep it off when I build sustainable habits, not just follow a diet. You need to create a life where maintaining that weight loss feels natural. Now the next belief sets people up for disappointment from day one. If I eat less, I should lose weight straight away. So you start eating better, you cut back on your snacks, maybe you're following a meal plan and you're making every effort that you can. Then you step on the scales 3 days later, expecting a big drop. And when you don't see it, you get discouraged. Maybe you think it's not working and you give up. But results are not instant. Your body doesn't operate on a 24-hour cycle. Weight fluctuates daily based on hormones, water retention, even sleep. None of these have anything to do with actual fat loss. Real fat loss takes time to show up on the scales, even when everything you're doing is working perfectly. And if you've just recently started exercising, especially some kind of resistance training or muscle building exercise, your muscles can actually retain extra fluid as they adapt. So you might feel a little bit puffy or even see the scales go up at first. But that doesn't mean that you have gained weight. It simply means that your muscles are responding to the new stimulus, which is actually a good thing. And yes, losing weight slowly may take a little bit longer than crash dieting, but it will also last much longer too. So instead of if I eat less, I should lose weight straight away, try instead that sustainable weight loss, it takes time, but it's worth the wait. When you commit and give yourself at least 2 to 4 weeks before really evaluating progress, that's when you start to see real results and lasting change. And finally, the last belief is that thin people can eat whatever they want. And I also used to believe this too. But once you become an adult, this is rarely true. The only thin people I have seen that can eat whatever they like and not truly gain weight are those that are ill with some form of an absorption issue like Crohn's disease. But yet I'm sure we all have somebody that comes to mind who seems to be able to eat all the time, eat whatever they want, and never gain weight. However, the reality is you don't know what they're doing the other 6 days a week or the other 20 hours in the day. You're not seeing their overall patterns. Maybe they eat quite intuitively and stop when they're full. Maybe they're naturally much more active. Or maybe they don't snack much, or they balance these really indulgent meals with really light ones. Or maybe they do gain weight from eating that way, but you just haven't seen that yet. The point is that whilst we all have different body shapes and different metabolic tendencies, we can each affect our metabolism by what we eat and how we move. So instead of thinking that thin people can eat whatever they want, try this instead. I need to learn what works best for my body to become the healthiest version of me. So stop comparing yourself to what other people seem to be doing. Focus on building habits that make you feel good, you feel energized and confident, and that is where real lasting success comes from. So there we have it, the 8 common beliefs that quietly keep you stuck. Some of these might have felt a little bit uncomfortable to hear, and that's okay. Growth often starts with noticing the stories that we've been carrying around. Let me know in the comments below which one stood out or resonated with you the most. As a dietitian, my goal is always going to be compassion first, but I also want you to see progress and actually get results. And sometimes that means gently challenging old beliefs. And if you think you might need more support and you would like to work one-to-one with a dietitian, I will leave links to my services where you can work with me or a member of my team down below. And remember, the best thing about working with a dietitian is that it is often partially or fully reimbursable from your health insurance. And if you enjoyed this video, YouTube thinks you would like to watch this one next. As always, if you have any questions, please comment below. I am more than happy to help. Thank you very much for watching. Stay happy and stay healthy, and I will see you again next week. Thanks for watching.